got a call the other day. It was my sister Carolyn saying, Aretha, come by when you can. I've got something that I want to say. And when I got there, she said, you know, rather than go through a long, drawn-out thing, I think the melody on the box will help me explain. Gotta find me an angel to fly away with me. Gotta find me an angel. Ooh.
Nothing lasts forever. No one lives forever. The flower that fades and dies. Winter passes and spring comes. Embrace the cycle of life that is the greatest love. Go beyond fear. Go beyond fear. Beyond fear takes you into the place where love grows. when you refuse to follow the impulses of fear, anger, and revenge. Beyond means to feel yourself.
Welcome to the True Purpose Development Show with your host, Dr. Princess Audelia, the Queen of Inspiration.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the True Purpose Development Show. Tonight we have a very special show. Yes, we are celebrating the life of Miss Aretha Franklin. This is the untold stories, intimate conversations that I had with her friends and her dear friends, Mr. Ronnie McNair, the Four Tops, Mr. Clarence Waldron, one of her very best friends from Jet Magazine and a prior publicist, former publicist for her, as well as Michael J. Powell, a dear friend and also producer. Tonight we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful show. Coming up, we are going to be celebrating her life in a very different way, just in conversation with these wonderful, wonderful friends of hers. And we are going to take time to just honor her story, honor her life and her past. We're going to enjoy some music, and the stories that are told in this show, some have never been told. So I think you should get really excited and get on the phones, call all of your neighbors and friends. Also, you can actually tap into the social media network and Facebook, Instagram it. Let everyone know about it, because this is a different celebration, celebrating her life. And before we get into everything that we're going to talk about tonight, I want you to get your pens out, because we have some news, that we have some good things going on with the True Purpose Development Show. But first, we want to pay respect to our sponsor, our key sponsor, Bountiful Opportunities Group, as well as some other additional sponsors, Perspectives for Life, as well as On the Mark, and also To Be Real Publishing and Bountiful Group Financial Enterprises. This show is brought to you by the nonprofit organization Bountiful Opportunities Group, and also have great key involvement with all of the transformation tours that are taking place around the world. So I want you to get ready, because coming up next week, we have the legend to continue. We have Matthew Knowles, who is actually going to be on the show. He's going to be on the True Purpose Development Show, actually this Thursday on the 13th at 8 p.m. We're also going to have Mr. Cleo Miller, representing the Marcus Garvey Foundation and organization, the UNIA. That's going to be on the 27th. And then we have coming up on the 4th of October, Angelo Ellerbe. Yes, he is going to be on live on the True Purpose Development Show. And Mr. Ellerbe is going to be sharing with us about his book and his candle line that has just been released. He is also a legendary PR guru, and he has been very much involved with such artists like Mary J. Blige, Michael Jackson, Dionne Warwick, also Matthew Knowles, and he is going to grace us with his presence in October on the 4th. So I want you to get your calendars. Don't forget this interview that is going to take place this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be at our normal time on Thursday p.m. with Matthew Knowles as he's talking about his new book, The DNA. So I want you to get excited and get busy. Start clicking and start calling all of your friends and neighbors, because we are going to have a great time tonight. And before we get started with our interviews. Just so that you know, our interviews were, they were pre-recorded, and they were very much around the time of our Queen's passing. But they share some very intimate stories with me, and the conversations are so real, and I want you to just enjoy. I want you to continue to enjoy Miss Aretha Franklin in a way that we all can honor, can do it in such an honor, and that is the best that it deserves. That is all that it deserves. Am I right about it? Yes, I am. I'm right about it. So we're going to take a break, and I want to play one of the songs that I really, really, really like, and I think that it actually signifies who she was, and that is a giver. She was a giver. She was real. She was jazzy, and she cared. And you'll hear just the stories from her friends, how they share about their life with her and their experiences. So consistent. Some of the questions I even ask, all of them, just so that I could reflect on the idea that she was consistent and she was real. Just an amazing angel, just like you heard with that song. So we're going to listen to the song, A Rose is Still a Rose. And she talked about women. She always helped us, right? So it was just wonderful. She always had a message and a story. She kept it real. So, yeah, in case you didn't know when you were just tuning in, you're going to have the pleasure of listening to some wonderful conversations with actually three legends. They're all three legends. They're all legends themselves, but three legends and very close friends of her. So this is going to be exciting. We'll be right back. A rose is still a rose.
Listen, dear, I realize that you've been hurt deeply because I've been there. But regardless to who, what, why, when, and where, we're all precious in His sight. And a rose is still and always will be a rose.
Then you came with your sticky game and played with her.
Welcome back to the True Purpose Development Show. Here's Dr. Princess Audelia.
Well, well, well. I tell you what. I'm so glad to be here tonight for this great moment, a great moment in time, celebration of the life of the Queen of Soul, Miss Aretha Franklin, singer, songwriter, pianist, actress, and recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom for her philanthropy, is revered as a music icon and one of the most prolific singers ever. At age 18 years old, Franklin embarked on her secular career and debuted her first song on Billboard Hot 100, Won't Be Long, in 1961. Today, she has a Billboard legacy of holding the record for the most entries on the Hot 100 of any female artist for nearly 40 years. And actually, Nicki Minaj just recently surpassed her, so it made her second, but she held that place for 40 years. Franklin is the first female artist into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, an 18-time Grammy Award winner who is honored now in the stars thanks to NASA for renaming an asteroid 249516, Aretha, in 2016. And she is also one who is held very dear in heart to so many people, and today we honor her. She has been honored very much by her hometown, Detroit, which they had several services for her, and she rolled out Queen, like only a queen can. So that energy will definitely live on with all of us. So first up, we have Mr. Clarence Waldron, one of her dear friends. He is a legendary publicist, actually, and a very dear friend, even also known as family to her. A former publicist for Jet Magazine. Currently, he is the CEO of CW Media, and as a writer and an editor. And so I'm very, very happy and pleased to bring to the True Purpose Development Show Mr. Clarence Waldron. Well, hello, Mr. Waldron.
Hi there. How are you?
Oh, I am absolutely fabulous. The question is, how are you doing?
I'm doing as well as can be expected. You know, my heart is heavy today, as it's been since last Thursday. Every day is different, but right now is a heavy moment for me right now. Yes.
Yeah, wow. Condolences to you and the family. I know that you have been a very, very dear friend to Miss Franklin, and you have, in your moments that you've had since the 1980s.
Yeah, you know, one time she told me that Clarence, after all those years of fabulous stories, how could I ever forget you? And I didn't quite realize that she really meant that until she asked me to come out on the road with her to do her publicity. She said to me, "Are you still teaching at a Northwestern University?" And I said, "Oh, no, not right now." "Great. Come out on the road with me." Come out on the road with me, and I did. And it was just all the dreams come true to actually work with her. So writing about her is one thing, befriending her is another thing, and then to work with her is a third thing. So they're all very, very different experiences. But I feel very blessed to have known her, and I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to put one foot in front of the other and move on. But it's very difficult. Yes.
Yes, and you were her publicist from 2014 to 2016.
Yes.
And I mean, some amazing things happened during that time, your tenure. Like, for example, her having an asteroid named after her. What is it? They took asteroid 249516 and named it Aretha.
Right.
And yes, and she sung for the Pope.
Yeah. Now,
just amazing.
Yeah, let's stop there. That was my highlight, being involved with that. I booked her on all of the top TV shows in the nation, including CNN with Don Lemon, as well as Good Morning America. And Good Morning America was actually out there in Philadelphia with us. So I had to know how to put that together, meaning Aretha did not like to be up on the top floor. You would think that someone like her would be on the 29th floor of the Ritz-Carlton.
Right.
No. She was afraid of heights, afraid to fly. Escalators also were a problem. So I told the guys, I said, nope, you set up on the wrong floor. Bring it down. Well, we're all set up. I said, too bad. Set up again down here on the second floor of the hotel. So therefore, you can greet Miss Franklin when she arrives after singing. And she'll come right to you if you're on this floor. If you're on the 29th floor, I can't help you. So we went back and forth, but they understood, and they wanted that interview. So they did it, and it went very, very well. I also know that Michael Eric Dyson was with us, and he actually joined her in the interview. Yeah, Michael Eric Dyson, another good friend of hers and mine. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I was in a lot of the press. You know, we did the Philadelphia Daily News, I believe, and the Philadelphia Inquirer. Everyone always wanted her. I must tell you that. Everyone always wanted her. Someone said, Clarence, it's almost like you write a press release, it's Aretha Franklin, and all you have to do is right. All you have to do is just press the word send on your computer, boom, and it was done. It was done. So it's a very fortunate job to have. I didn't have to tell people who she is, why should you run this press release. It was none of that fighting the press and all that. No.
She was Aretha Franklin.
You love her, you respect her, yes.
Yes. I also, I know some friends of hers and also her, a few people that are very, very close to her, even some of, like a producer and another friend. And the conversations are always that Aretha was down to earth.
Yeah, very much so.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was that down-to-earth woman in spite of all of the profound, wonderful things that she's done for the world globally.
Yeah.
She was cool.
Yeah. No, she was very, very, very down to earth. She loved having big, extravagant parties, but yet there was always a down to earth feel to it. So we could be celebrating her birthday at the Ritz-Carlton in New York City, but yet there was something about the energy that was so comfortable. She wanted to make sure that everyone was comfortable. So while we were at the Ritz-Carlton, it was very much down home. Very much down home. And in some of the other parties, she would have soul food, or then she may have lobster. You know what I mean? It just depends on where it was. But the bottom line, Aretha made everyone in her presence very, very comfortable. And I watched how she did that. But, you know.
Charismatically and with love. She was.
Yeah. You know, I mean, and also what you see is what you get. There's nothing phony about Aretha Franklin. It was the real deal, the real deal.
That's amazing. I saw an interview with her, and people have a tendency, especially in media, to just start to talk about all of the things that media is talking about. And as it pertains to her personal life, even when she went through her illness, she was very positively private.
Yep. She was, I'd say, intensely private. Yes. Intensely private. And I remember she told me about the illness that Clarence, I decided not to talk about it too much. And I'm not going to reveal what it is, but it is not cancer. It is not. And so,
wow.
Okay, but here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you things that no other reporter will ever hear from me at all.
Okay.
And I will tell you that you will have more information about my illness than anyone else in the country, in the world. So I said, okay, fine. So we discussed when you have an ailment, you go to one doctor, he says this, go to the other doctor, get a second opinion, and stuff like that. She never revealed what it was. And formally speaking, I did not know until the day she died.
What it was.
Sure, what it was. But she did talk about it or talk around it enough in such a way that really worked. Because the cover story that I wrote when I was in Jet magazine, it was in March 7th, 2011 edition. That cover story was the biggest seller we had at that point that year. It did better than anybody else. Because people wanted to hear from Aretha, and this was the only time she was talking. This was the first time that she talked was to Jet magazine. But that speaks to her loyalty as well.
Yes.
She's loyal. I love Jet magazine. So I went to show them how much I love them. And that's how it was. It's really amazing when I look back at it. Never once did she ever tell anyone what it was. I thought that she would have after a few years went by. Nope, not
a word.
Not Aretha. Nope, they won't get it from here, from her.
Because yes.
Yeah, it's almost like I tell my students, you may not get what you want, but you will get what you need. Mm-hmm. And that's what I learned from Aretha. It wasn't the story that I wanted, but the story that I needed. All I wanted was a top seller. That's what I wanted.
That's right.
I wanted to cover and her to do well, and make it a number one seller, and that's what I got. So life is good.
That's right. And that's what she would say, too. She was adamant about that. Somebody say, well, the tabloid said, she said, is that what you read? Oh, okay. Well, I'm great. I left all of that way back there. You don't know what she's talking. You don't know. She did not reference one thing. She just said, I left that all back there. I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing great. And that's the perception that she wanted you to keep in the forefront regarding her. Like, I don't need your negative energy. Just know that I'm well.
Exactly. I know one time she was doing a show after my story, and she this is a TV personality. Knowing you, because you've done your homework, you may find this interview, but she told the person, my health is superb. There is no problem. The problem has been resolved. And that shut down the interview. Shut it down. My health is superb.
Like, what are we talking about here?
Everything is fine, But that was the reason. And I told her that later on. I said, you know how to shut people down, don't you?
Man.
Said, what do you mean, Clarence? You know what I mean.
Wink, wink.
Exactly. Love it. I love it. Absolutely love it.
So did you both ever talk about the idea that you and her father had the same name, and maybe that was like the energy that brought you two together? Like,
well, you are very, very good, because one of her birthday parties, there's a picture, and she's dressed in yellow. Anyway, I sat down and I told her that I remember years ago that her sister Irma said, I know why Aretha loves you, Clarence. And I said, why? Because your name is Clarence, the same as our father's. I did not know that at the time. I thought that his name always C.L. Franklin. I thought it was Charles L. Franklin, not Clarence. You know what I mean?
You know, I did too, until I started doing the research, and I'm like, I said, really? Okay.
Yeah, but anyways, I told that to Aretha. She said, Clarence, I assure you that is much, much more than that. You know, my feelings for you are much more than that. That's great. Happy birthday, Queen. Happy birthday, Queen. Yeah.
Yes, that's amazing. And you know, when I think about Miss Aretha Franklin, her music, it's so channeling, in fact, and very strong. I think about, from this point on, it will have a louder voice.
Yeah, I hope so.
It will. You have children looking her up now.
Yeah.
She's like, my daughter went to school with her grandchildren. High school with her grandchildren.
Are you from Detroit?
Yes, I am.
Yes, she's 4'8". Oh, okay.
Yes, and she went to Bloomfield Hills School. My daughter. Yes, that's where we lived. And so right now, as we look over everything, I mean, I'm seeing some compilations that I never even knew that she did. Like, I didn't know that she did, through your tenure, the PR, which I think is absolutely genius, of the compilation where she did it herself, but she did the greatest hits. She did some great reviews and hits with also Adele.
Yes.
That is amazing. Like, that's brilliant, especially for her and her senior in the business to come back and do something like that and tap into the youth genre, if you would.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
I give credit to Clyde Davis on that one. He brought the song to her and said, "How about this one?" She said, "Yeah, I sing that song with my grandkids. So yeah, let's do it. Let's do it."
She wasn't afraid of anything. What was your favorite song of your dear friend?
You know what? Every day since she passed, it's something different. But today, right now, at this moment, would be Angel. You gotta find me an Angel. Young Gibson Black. Her version of that was just superior. It was her. Young Gibson Black. I like Until You Come Back to Me. You know, that one. But right now, I think Angel is taking. But also right now, I pulled out all of my, some of my CDs, and I have a lot of compilations here. Like, I have all of her Columbia records. They're complete on Columbia. Take a look. And that's like something that I'm going to spend time playing. I mean, I've heard some of them, but not all of them. And then I have another one that has her Atlantic records on one side, and then her Aretha records on the last side. So, a lot of great memories here. A lot of memories.
I tell you, my condolences, our condolences to you again. I mean, you have been blessed. And you have one of the most profound blessings because you can hear her voice in your head on a personal level. You can feel her energy, I'm sure. And I'll just say when she does show up to you, because she will in energy, and you'll feel it, know that it is her, and it is her presence because her spirit will live forever.
Yes.
It will live forever.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Yes, yes. Now, do you have anything else that you would love to say and that you would love for us to do in honor of your dear friend that you know she would appreciate?
Well, I mean, she would appreciate all of this outpouring of love. All of this outpouring of love, she would appreciate. So whatever you do it from your heart, and it'll reach everyone's heart. Just please do it that way, in the right spirit. And I can tell that's how you are, and I like that in you. Just do it in the right spirit. Do it in the spirit of Aretha, and it all will be good. So I can go on forever and ever talking, so.
Well, I can too, because but you said 15 minutes, and I'm trying to stay on target, right. And you have reports to do. Yeah. But if you have anything else you want to add, we can continue. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, one more thing that I want to just say. Now I'm going back to my reporter days. Barack Obama.
How can not talk about that? Yes.
Yeah. She's saying for him, she was so proud to be asked to perform. And I said, what does this mean to you? Or what does it mean to your late father? Because, yes. He and Martin Luther King were friends and civil rights activists together. And she said, it is like my father's dream has come true. My father's dream has come true. That now, today, we have a black president of the United States of America. Who would have thought it?
Who would have thought it?
Yeah. So, no, my father is looking down, very proud. And then just to top it all, his daughter is doing the singing.
Is doing the singing. Are you kidding me? And he's a civil rights activist.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Okay, I mean, that is huge.
Yeah, no, this is what he lived for. This is what he worked for. Even if Martin Luther King was in, I guess it was Memphis, I believe. It was T.L. Franklin who invited him to come on down. So,
wow.
That type of thing. So, yeah.
And what else is so amazing? That when she did what she did, she moved the president and his wife. Her voice, her everything, her being, her energy, her presence was just strong. But I feel like with Aretha Franklin that she's one of those who fulfilled their true life's purpose. Like she did it.
Right.
And she completed even what her father, she continued on, and she was able to fulfill even his dream, not only her own dream, but her father's dream. And that is a major thing. That is major. I actually had that down here to ask you about that. Right. But, yes, I'm glad you brought that up because that is a moment in history and in time. I'm sure he's smiling. Yeah. Absolutely.
Now,
absolutely.
I'm going to add this too. I'm getting excited now.
You're getting excited. That's good.
I'm loving this interview. Everyone has asked me, how will you remember Aretha Franklin? And that's sort of complicated. There's so much going on there. But bottom line, the most important thing would be that voice. And that music. That was there's no one else can do what she did. There will not be another Aretha Franklin. She is the undisputed queen of soul. I don't care who comes up now. Nobody up in there now. It's not going to happen.
And wait a minute. She said that herself. She was on an interview. Someone said, who do you think, like basically, who would take your position? And she looked at them. She said, Aretha. They looked. She said Aretha. Like to say, you think nobody's gonna take my place. Like I am the queen of soul, and I am that I am. You know.
And she was very proud of that. Took that title very seriously.
Yes.
I remember going to her house years ago, and she had her tiara, her crown, inside a glass case, sitting in her living room. So there.
Wow.
I am the queen.
I am queen.
Queen Franklin. Queen Franklin.
That is. That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing. I feel honored, too, because I am from Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah.
Yes. Woo woo. And so when you have someone so awesome, powerful, right, historical, and they're from Detroit. And one thing I can tell you about Detroit stars, though, they come out, and a lot of our Detroit stars are so down to earth and very loving, and just like Miss Franklin.
Right.
Oh, this is amazing.
Well, listen, I'm going to go ahead and try to keep my word, but actually, you got 26 minutes after.
I love it. Thank you.
That was that loving energy that you brought. It was a lot of fun talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I felt so about you, too. Yeah. Wasn't that interview just awesome? That was Mr. Clarence Waldron, legendary publicist, former publicist former journalist for Jet Magazine, and also very, very dear friend of Miss Aretha Franklin, as well as her former publicist. Today we were supposed to, as we're waiting for the system to do what it's supposed to be doing right now, I just want to share, today we had also asked for Miss Dionne Warwick, which is another friend of hers, to come on the show, to come back on the show. And she actually sent her regards via her publicist, and she says thank you for the appreciation of honoring. She appreciated us honoring her friend Aretha, and she was not able to be here today because she is actually on tour. Miss Warwick is on tour. Isn't it just wonderful? It's like we age so gracefully. The Black community ages our age. We age so gracefully, and it's so wonderful. But we continue to do what we do, and so many beautiful musicians and artists do, and it's just amazing. I'm just very, very honored to have had the opportunity to share such intimate conversations, and we will continue. We have.
How wonderful. So before we go on with the show, it is time for us to take a break. And in this break, we are going to listen to Rock Steady Baby. It was her 1971 single that reached number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 2 on the best-selling soul singles chart, featured on her 1972 album Young, Gifted, and Black, and it's called Rock Steady Baby. We'll be right back after this. Rock steady, baby. You know what? I am just overjoyed. I'm so overjoyed. Her music, I've been really enjoying listening to it now. And unfortunately, in her absence, and that I'm just now getting this. And that comes with having no freedom. Okay. No freedom. As much as I am music, I had no freedom to enjoy all of it. So it's a treasure to be able to connect with all of the music and even the producers and to get the stories behind the song. And knowing what I know about life after death, I know that she hears and she's excited that we're here tonight. With that said, without further ado, Mike Powell is in the studio. And when I say Mike Powell is in the studio, it's a big deal. Mike Powell, formerly known as Michael J. Powell, is an American R&B musician, record producer, and arranger who is also best known for his work as producer for the 8-time Grammy Award winning soul R&B vocalist Anita Baker. Not only has he produced Anita Baker, but he is also a long time, decades long time friend and also music producer for our Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. And he's in the studio. Tonight, he's also a very dear friend of mine. And I'm so honored to have you here tonight. Hey, Mike. How are you?
Hey.
I'm great.
Awesome. Well, it's been a long time since you've been on the show, and I'm so happy that you're back on the True Purpose Development Show.
Glad to be back.
Yes. Unfortunately, we're talking about the life of your friend and also one of the legends that you've had an opportunity of producing for, Miss Aretha Franklin. So, yes. So, how are you in regards to that?
Well, you know, I it's a matter of reflection with Aretha and I, because, you know, I have to think about everything that I meant to her, not necessarily what she meant to me. Because when I think about what she meant to me, I think about when my son passed away. She sung at his funeral, and then she came and spent like 5 or 6 days at my house, took her shoes off in the kitchen, and, you know, I had pies and cakes sent over and big huge bouquets of flowers. And what that said to me was, that is not just an artist, that's a friend. You know, because she didn't do that for everybody, you know. And I remember producing songs for her for different people's funerals that she didn't sing at. She just made a tape and sent the tape, you know.
Right.
But she actually sung at the funeral without me even asking, you know. And she's just, and I was listening to some of her music on the radio the past few days, and I was listening to the songs, and I was like, wow, this stuff is incredible. And I don't hear many singers out there that even come close to that. You know, Aretha was, you think about what she did at a young age, you know, her musicianship, because she played the piano. She was an awesome musician, let alone just an awesome singer, you know. And when you listen to Aretha's song, none of the stuff sounded the same. All the songs just sounded different, you know. And she just, I remember just being in the studio with her, and her main thing was quality. That meant everything to her. Everything had to be quality, you know. And it made me think about what I was doing as a producer, and that was the same thing that I would say about my music. Everything was quality, you know. So
you had a big major part in that, because she wouldn't record or wouldn't go in the studio oftentimes without you being there.
Absolutely. She would always, you know, it depends on, you know, who she was working with. She would call me, say, Mike, what are you doing? Can you come into the studio with me? I said, sure, come in, you know. And I went in with her, with what's the guy from the Isley Brothers? Ron Isley. I was in with her, with Ron, and the guy from the Temptations that just died. I can't think of his name, the big guy. I was in the studio with her, with him, and I was always in the studio with Babyface, and the reason why it made me think about her and Babyface is because she was at my studio one time, and she had cooked some food, and she had some oxtails, and I remember being in the kitchen with Babyface, and Babyface looked into the pot, and he pulled one out. He said, Michael, what is this? I said, it's an oxtail. He said, oxtail? What is an oxtail? I said, an oxtail. He said, man, I don't even know what an ox is. I was like, oh my God. That was too funny.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, you think about,
time.
Yeah, I mean, Aretha was like straight up home girl, you know. She has oxtails, you know, and oxtail stew, all kind of stuff, you know. And I remember being in the studio with her and what's the girl's name that did Rose? Not Rose, what's her name?
You said, what did she do?
What's the girl that did A Rose Is Still a Rose?
A rose? Let me see. A rose is still a rose.
Right. The girl.
Hold on. I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
In 2 seconds. I'm going to tell you along with, I should have asked in 2 seconds. Let's see. That wasn't Aretha Franklin. Not Aretha. I mean, that wasn't Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill, exactly.
Was it Lauryn Hill?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And this was a funny thing about her. She stayed in the studio. They recorded at my studio also. She stayed in the studio with Lauryn longer than she stayed in the studio with anybody.
Wow.
And so, and I said, after Lauryn left, I said, Aretha, why was you in the studio so long with Lauryn? You don't spend that kind of time in the studio with nobody, you know. She'll sing a song once or twice, and that'll be it for them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But she was in there with Lauryn for hours, you know. And I said, why was you in there so long? She said, well, you know, Lauryn was a black woman trying to get her thing on, and I wanted to do the best job I could do for her, you know. And I said, wow, you know.
Wow.
And that was kind of cool. I thought that
was
cool.
so wonderful. Like
the
queen of soul.
Absolutely.
She's the queen. She's the queen.
Absolutely, yeah.
And when you step out like that, there's also a responsibility.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
to look out for those who are coming up. Now, mind
Absolutely.
you, as we know that there are a whole lot of princesses and we are all queens and there are kings, but according to the Queen of Soul, there will only be one, and she says that adamantly.
And she was. She was. She was the Queen of Soul. You know.
I am and forever will be.
Absolutely. It'll never be another singer like her.
No.
There'll never be anybody like Aretha.
No. And I think it's so inspiring, too, because, you know, so you think in your heart about you, that's how you are. And Aretha was not oblivious to who she was and who she was, but what was so beautiful and what I have heard about her, what's so beautiful is that even though she knew that she was queen, she was still humble, and everybody still comes back with the same story that she was down to earth and she was real. She was a jazzy girl, you know. She had that jazz to her. So that's amazing, and that's something to really look up to. What would you say is the best song, or can you even pinpoint one that you and Aretha did together?
You know, Aretha had so many classics. I never even think about the songs that I did with her as classics, like.
Because you're down to earth too, Mike.
Yeah.
You're so down to earth.
But she had so many classic songs. I mean, you can just go on and on and on, you know. And it's funny. You asked Aretha, what was your most favorite song? She'd be like, Michael, I don't know what that was. I mean, I got so many songs. It's hard to tell what's the most favorite. They're all favorites to me, you know.
Yes.
And I think about it, it's like, wow, that's kind of deep for her to say that, because she has so many classic songs that I would remember. I did a song with her, Mark and Pastoria, and I did a song for Aretha for a movie that she had sung for, and she ended up getting a Grammy for the song, and it was like she was like, oh yeah, I remember that song, you know. I mean, she got a Grammy for this song. It's like so casual. Yeah, I remember that song, you know, and it's like, and I thought about it. I said, wow, that was cool, man. We got a Grammy for the song, you know. And it's like, they're just all just great songs to her, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man.
You know, I think one of the greatest things, too, that, and I'm sure you're honored to be a part of that, was when you worked with her on what she did for President Barack Obama. Such a historical moment. How can you even remember how she reacted? Like, how was her energy in the studio when you guys did that? Like,
oh wow! I mean, it was great because Aretha went back to her roots and was doing that touch of gospel, and she was loving it, you know. And this was a great moment for her, you know, to do this for Obama, because I mean, it was a great moment for all of us, you know, and it was a great moment.
Who he was.
Absolutely. You know, if her father could have been alive to see that, you know, I mean, it would be incredible, you know.
Wow.
You know, I was like, You know, I mean, it was just an incredible moment for me.
Yes.
To just be a part of it, you know.
Right.
So
yeah, you've done so much, and you've done a lot with her,
mm-hmm.
and you brought life. Thank you too for bringing life to her gift, you know, as
mm-hmm.
well.
Yeah.
Playing such an intricate part in that.
Yeah, it's real interesting working with Aretha, and I remember we would be working on a song, and I would say, Aretha, that note was a little bit flat, and she was like, "What you talking about? That note wasn't flat." And I said, "Yes, it was. It was a little flat." I said, "Okay." And before we would leave the studio, she would say, "Michael, can we go back and get that one note you was talking about? Let's clean that up." You know, because she always wanted to, she trusted me, number one, but she always wanted the best to be out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, so I was like, wow.
Absolute best.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So you have, over 2 decades, you've been friends, if you would,
Mm-hmm.
with Aretha, and I know that my condolences to you, you know, as well.
Mm-hmm.
You are a dear friend of hers, and like I've been telling everyone, that her spirit will forever live.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that people will realize who Aretha was after hearing her music on the radio like they do now. Because I like, how can you not play Aretha's music all the time? You know,
right.
this stuff they're playing on the radio nowadays,
Oh,
it's like, man, I mean, it has its place, but real music for all people, I don't want to say black people, but all people that love music got to love what Aretha did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how could you not play that music all the time? You know, and I think that this thing with her passing away like this, radio is going to realize, what are we doing?
Right.
You know,
mm-hmm.
We can't let the music die. You know,
exactly.
Aretha is passed, but the music can't pass. The music has got to be here forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And when I think of, you know, she did a song, actually a compilation of songs where she did some remakes, but not remakes, but she sung their songs, like Adele. And I thought that was really awesome, because, first of all, Aretha being who Aretha is. Second of all, it being something that she even chose, the artist that she chose to actually do that compilation, you know, in respect to, if you would.
Right.
So, that's huge.
Yeah.
It says a lot.
Because she had a lot of respect for Adele, you know. She liked her, you know, and for her to do the music that she was doing, you know. Aretha, she had her favorite artist also, you know, which was cool, you know. She didn't think that she was so great that nobody was good, you know. She had her singers, you know, that she really liked, you know. And so
she
that
represented
was
real. She
represented
real.
Yep.
Yes, she represented real on all counts.
Yeah.
On all counts.
So that was cool.
Yes, it was. Now what did you think about her having the asteroid named after her?
Asteroid?
Yes, in 2016.
Oh wow. I don't even remember that. Wow.
Yeah, so she's actually traveling through the space of Mars. Yes, there's an asteroid named after her.
Wow, that's cool, man.
Yes, that's
wow.
Yeah, so Aretha will live. Her spirit will live forever and
ever.
Forever and ever. And I know people come and go, but with someone with such a artistry, just who she was, period. And beyond the artistry, she was a person who cared, a person who was down to earth, and and all of her friends represent that, and you all have the same thing to say. It's just a tremendous opportunity to have to experience her in such a way.
Exactly. I mean, you can never say enough good things about Aretha, you know. Even when she would do something that you thought was crazy, it was still her thing, you know. You know what I'm saying? It's like she deserves it. You know, right, exactly. So what can you say, man?
What can you say?
It'll never be another one like her.
Yes.
Never will be.
Never. And you know what? I think music is not going to be the same. I think it's going to be the same.
Absolutely.
You know? I really
absolutely. Because I'm thinking about the next thing that I want to do and how I want to do it. You know, it's going to have a little Aretha flavor in it. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be different. You know, I think that it's going to change the style of music on both fronts. You know, white and black.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. Do you think it's changing? Do you think that people are in Detroit right now celebrating her life right, like doing it respectfully?
Absolutely. I mean, her doing the thing at the museum 2 days in a row and then doing it at the church. I mean, that she deserves that. You know, she would want it that way. You know. So yeah, I think the family is doing it right. You know.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
She's gonna be missed. Another icon gone, but she'll forever be in our hearts. You know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So. Well, awesome, Mike. It's so wonderful having you on the show, and
thank you so much.
And thank you just for being a friend down through the years. You are a great person. You two are down to earth, and birds of a feather flock together, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Hey.
Yeah.
So the apple don't fall too far from the tree. So
absolutely.
So what do you have? And what do you have coming up for you?
Well, you know what? I have someone in mind, a local individual. I'm not going to say their name yet because people will be like, oh God, you working with Mike Powell? So I don't want to say right now, but it's someone local. So, and a lot of people are going to be surprised because she's not. Well, some people may know, a lot of people, because I've seen it on Facebook, and I did work with Beth Manley Griffith. I did an old Chapter 8 song. Matter of fact, I wrote the song 30 years ago, and Anita sung the song with Chapter 8. I Just Want to Be Your Girl, and it's on Beth's album right now. So that was somebody. Yeah, that was the last person that I worked with. Yeah, so that's how everybody should look out for that. And I actually got her the gig with Anita. She sang with Anita for like 8 years. And she said that people would be in the audience yelling for her to sing it. And she would never sing the song. And she was like, why did she sing the song? And when I cut the song on Beth, she said, I know why I needed to sing it. This song is crazy to sing. It's hard to sing. You know. I said, oh, it ain't hard to sing. She said, yes, it is. This song is hard to sing. She said, but I love it. It's an awesome song, you know. And she did a heck of a job. Yeah, she did a really good job on it. You know, so that's good. It'll do well for her. You know.
That's awesome. Well, I'm gonna and people can get with you on Facebook. You have a Facebook presence, right?
You know what? I'm not really on Facebook, but I'm gonna get on it because everybody has a Facebook page. But the only thing about Facebook is it puts you out there too much, tells too much of your business.
Well, no, but Facebook only tells what you want it to tell. So if you don't tell it, then it's not telling it. That's how I look at it. Yeah, that's true. You spend it how you want to spend it. And you say, if it's business, then it's business. I don't have to tell you when I went to the bathroom and when I got up and ate breakfast and what I ate.
Exactly.
Even though that kind of presence failed to keep people coming back because people are
Absolutely. That's true. That is true.
People are so nosy. They want to know your business and what you're doing and
right.
what you're doing.
Yeah. So I want to have a presence because when I'm ready for people to know something, I can just drop it and it'll be right there, you know. So.
Diamonds are always in the rough. You know, you never. The people who are usually the reason behind the songs and the music, the production team, etc. A lot of times people don't know them like that, and they don't even appreciate. You know, unless you're in the industry, sometimes people fail to appreciate who that person is. Because without that person, then what you jam into would only go so far.
Yeah. But you know what is a good thing, and I want people to look out and support me in this. Frankie Darcell and a couple of other people are going to try to do an Legends Award for me at the music hall. So we're trying to come up with a good date for that. And, you know, hopefully, that'll be a successful endeavor, you know.
Let me know and I'll have to come in town.
Okay. Yeah, because you live, where you live now?
In Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I'm in Georgia now. I'm a Georgia girl now. Well, I'm always a Detroiter, but I am living now in Georgia.
Wow, you know, it never dawned on me that you moved away.
Yes.
Because I'm still thinking you live here.
I wouldn't know. No, I've been down for 2 years now.
Wow.
Yes. Yes, but I plan on coming down, of course, for the celebration, you know, pay my respect. And also, then we have to get together. Because I still am due my studio time.
I remember you're a great songwriter also. That's a good thing.
Thank you. That means a lot coming from you.
I mean it.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
So, I really appreciate you bringing me on the show today and speaking to my friend Aretha. You know, it's so funny how I got like calls from people and they were saying, giving their condolences to me like it was my sister that died. And I said, why are y'all calling me like this? They said, man, we know how close you were with Aretha. You worked with Aretha for a long time, you know, and I know you got to be thinking about her like that. And I say, you know, that's absolutely true. It really is.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Her spirit lives forever. And you have that connection that you have. I mean, no one can take that away from you.
That's true.
And all of the gifts that she's given, just in wisdom and love, and
oh yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It really is.
Well, thank you, Mike, for coming on.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Yes,
appreciate you.
Yes,
beautiful,
thank you, and I appreciate you, and congratulations. And I'm
queen
sure
of
that
soul,
Aretha
Franklin,
is
from her
smiling.
1991
I'm sure she is.
Yeah, that's celebrating her
changing times,
her homegoing and
her life. Yeah,
her life in a way where we're appreciating and we're having family love and we're talking about music.
Another great hit.
And you know, the history.
We're gonna miss our queen of soul.
Yeah,
here
absolutely.
in the physical with us, but she lives forever.
Well, you have a wonderful day.
Okay,
and we will
do
forever
the same.
Celebrate her.
All right, then. We'll be seeing you very, very soon.
This
I'll be
energy,
seeing you. I'll make sure I have
that
to come see you when I
she
come
has
to
left
Detroit.
behind with such legacy
Definitely.
All right.
truth,
Okay, love you.
Love
humility,
you too. All
right.
compassion, dedication, resilience, and most of all, her love and authenticity. So, for those who have honored her today, we thank you so much for being here on the True Purpose Development Show. And for those who are her family and our dear friends who are mourning the passing of your great family or friend, dear friend, our condolences to you. All right. So celebrate good times. Come on. I thank you for coming here. So I want you to know that transformation it is so for you. Choose to be guided. Choose to follow the flow of the divine source energy and choose to do it well. Do it like you do it. Do it like you feel like doing it, okay? Like Prince said in an interview, he said, I didn't know what was going to happen. In other words, I didn't know what was going to happen. I was just being me, and they happened to dig it. Don't you love it? Gotta love it. Listen, don't forget to listen to our upcoming show on May 5th with Prince and the Celestial. We're having a whole celestial party. I caution everyone because it will be visual and there are some very paranormal events that have taken place in the sky, and there's a reason all behind it. You'll come to understand some information that you did not understand or you never knew because it was not ever told, and about Prince and his life, about his death, and also about his dear friends. And you'll understand why by and by. I just want to say thank you for being here. I love you all. Have a great one.
you guys. And don't forget, I'm going to keep telling you, this Thursday, Matthew Knowles is going to be on the True Purpose Development Show at the regular showtime, all right? 8 p.m. Standard Time. Mr. Matthew Knowles, I'm sorry. Nope, it's not 8 p.m. It is actually 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because we had to move some things around. So it's going to be on this coming Thursday. And I want you to mark your calendars because this is going to be a really good show. Really. We're going to have some fun. We're going to do what I make it do, live, and we're going to have a fabulous time. I am working through this minor piece that we have going on here, our network, but that's what happens when you're in live media, right? And you're using social media. We're doing this live, and there's some issues. I'm telling you, it's okay. Because you know what? You love to hear me talk. But we're going to bring this up, and you will definitely be able to hear the full show in archives. In the event there are some issues, I'm not sure what's going on, and our technical team is actually talking to BTR so that we can gain understanding as to what is happening. But we're going to get it together at least in just a moment. While we're waiting, like I said, we're going to interview him next week, and we're also going to be interviewing Mr. Cleo Miller coming up on the 27th. I just want to share a couple of things about Miss Aretha Franklin, and I, in talking and having these conversations with all of our great guests, it was really, really phenomenal to know that two of the three friends that I interviewed, they're dear friends of mine. And we were that close, though. But I tell you what really got me, and I never met her personally. I met her through other people. I know a lot of people who know her personally and have had great relationships with her. But I had so many different things, even in my life, that, well, when I was younger, I wasn't allowed to listen to Aretha Franklin because of how I was raised religiously. And when I look back now, so I'm really in awe. I'm like really engaged with all of the music, listening to the music, understanding it and appreciating it so profoundly now. I would have loved to have had a conversation with her. It would have been more than just great. It would have just been life-changing, I'm sure, because it seems that everyone who had a conversation with her actually had an experience with her. To know her was to experience her. She was not untouchable, which is a lesson for us. I don't know if many of you know, and I think this is an opportunity since our switchboard, our technical team is working this out, and we're working it out and trying to see how long is it going to be for us to get back up, but I appreciate your patience, but we're going to make this work. So while we're waiting, I want to talk about, neither did she make a big conversation about, like she didn't make a big conversation about anything that was going on in her life. She was very private, and she was beautifully private, not in an obnoxious way, just in a very positively, I call it positively private way. She did not welcome the media and all of its negativity. If you interviewed her, and I studied her, thing, and even heard and was a part of conversations when she was alive, that she didn't allow you to stay there in that negative tone. She saw herself how she saw herself. She wore and she was who she was all the way. That says a lot, because that, my dears, happened to be, I believe, my philosophy is that is the reason, that is why she made it like she made it. That is why, with her story, one that most would people would completely write off. One who was a single parent, a very young parent, the age of 14, a child. They would have, so many, I believe, who have gone through teen pregnancy, they have someone who they can look up to. If she did it, I can do it too. And she didn't just do it. She did the damn thing, is what she did. And she did it with such class and grace, consistency, humble, and all of her tactics. Graceful, personal in her own character. You didn't define her. She painted that picture, and so it was. Her success was not defined by what people would assume her to be based on choices that she made that were her choices. I love it. That's queen. Not just queen in music, but queen in all things. That's the point of life. That is amazing. And if you are just tuning in, I just want you to know that we're having some technical difficulties. Apparently, our technical team is actually working on it, and we are expected to be back up soon, and we're going to continue with our interviews. We have the interviews, just so that you know, have been pre-recorded, and they are just wonderful. We have still coming up Ronnie McNear and also Mr. Michael J. Powell, Ronnie McNear, the Four Tops, and also Michael J. Powell, the legendary producer, engineer, phenomenal man, as well as Mr. Ronnie McNear. They're coming up. And if, in fact, this technical difficulty it continues, then what we are going to do, we're going to have our system team to upload the show in its full so that you will have it and you will have these interviews, and it's going to be just great. So we do apologize for the mix-up. We apologize that the system is down. This is a DTR situation. So we definitely do apologize for this. But as I am saying, her story, the life, and continuing on in the celebration of the life of Miss Aretha Franklin, there is nothing like the Queen of Soul. And there is only one, as she proclaimed, made it very loud and clear. I am the one, the only one. And it's okay if you know that about yourself. Do you understand that it's okay if you know that you are the one? That you're not small. You're not obnoxious for having the idea of being great, of being the one. It's okay to do that, to be that. It is okay. And that's what I love. I love the idea of Miss Aretha Franklin and the way she represented herself and the way she did what she did, how she did what she did. And there was none other. And she did not allow and definitely made it so that no matter what, she was queen and would be noted as such. And I respect her for that. She sung the song
She wrote about it, represented it. You're going to hear in one of the interviews, actually, she talks about, well, Mr. Michael J. Powell talks about Lauryn Hill, the time she spent. She gave back. She gave back to those who also had the vision. And understand that is important for all of us. It's important for all of us to understand that if you have a plan, an idea, and a vision, you go forward and you set to do it, then do you understand that you have a responsibility to give back? You're never too big. I remember being at a party. Actually, I had gone to a party of Mike Powell's birthday party, and I ran across another celebrity. And I wanted to interview him because I loved his story. I wanted to interview him. So I stopped. I stopped him, and I don't care. I will walk up to anybody. If I want to interview you, I want to have a conversation with you. We're going to have it. And I'm drawn to those who have powerful stories. Cool with who you are, but what's your story? And how are you representing that story? Then we can talk about having a conversation on the True Purpose Development Show. So anyways, I walk up to this guy, and I wanted to highlight his story and talk about his success in lieu of his story. And he thought he was too big. And he went there. I don't know, I need to, look, I didn't come here for all that. I'm thinking, huh? And I told him, I want to highlight ABC. You would help so many people. I don't do all of that. And he thought, he didn't know who I came with or anything like that because I wasn't standing next to the legends that I came with. Then later, I didn't do it, but one of my friends did it. And when one of my friends was asked by a fan to take a picture, and he asked for me to come to the picture. It was about 5 of us. The look on that person's face, I'm purposefully not saying his name because I'm sure you all probably know him, so I'm not going to say his name. But this person looked back to realize she's with the person that I came to, that it meant anything, but to people, stuff like that means stuff. The point of it is this: you're never too big. And Miss Aretha Franklin represented that. You want to know how she got where she got? How she came to the point of achieving all of the great things that she did? Do you really want to know how? I'll tell you the key thing for your success, and that I'm sure the universe, the Creator, will give the success that she attained. First, so you think in your heart, so are you. Trust and believe. You think you don't have it, then you don't. She was who she thought she was, and we saw her as that. And the things that took place and came to her happened to be as a result of what she brought. She brought it not only in her actions and through the voice, and the song was good, and she cut the rug, and I love the way she moved. Her groove was sweet as hell. I really loved it. It wasn't just that, though. She stayed focused on her. She stayed focused on what she was. I remember listening to an interview when someone was referring to her about her being ill towards the end. She chopped that up so quick, she said, and not in a nasty way, with her nice, jazzy, charismatic way. She let them know. Is that what you heard? She did not accept the nonsense that she didn't accept for herself.
Instead, you heard? Oh, well, I'm fine. I'm doing great. Be fine to the end, just like Miss Aretha Franklin. Don't let somebody put you in your grave before you are ready to go. Be fine until the end. And even then, you will continue to live. Your spirit will live forever. Trust and believe. That's the way it is. And so that's my philosophy. I'm being told. I always have to understand that we all are entitled to our own perceptions. We are all entitled to how we think things are. And there is a group of people who have a knowing inside of just how things are. And I'll tell you, when you think it, you will be it. You paint the picture for your own life, and it will be so. Don't let people label you, put you in a box or anything like that, and you'll reap those benefits and the great success that our beautiful queen, Miss Aretha Franklin, did. You're listening to the True Purpose Development Show. I am your talk show host, Dr. Princess Adelia. I appreciate your patience tonight. We just had a wonderful first half of the show where we were able to listen to Mr. Clarence Waldron. And we have coming up Michael J. Powell and also Ronnie McNair. All three are legends sharing stories never told live. And the shows, their interviews and conversations, I don't like to call it interview because we have conversations. That's what we have. And, hey, whatever the mode is, that's what we're doing. Okay, we're hanging out. When you're on the True Purpose Development Show, you're hanging out, you're having a good time, and you're highlighting what's real. And you're keeping it real as well. So we have that with her legendary friends, Michael J. Powell and Ronnie McNair. What we're going to do, if this happens to be a continued great, first of all, our apologies for this. This is beyond our control. We are definitely ready to go, and somehow it is not. BTR is on our system. It's not loading up our switchboard, and we are definitely trying to work with BTR to find out what is going on. If, in fact, we continue to have a switch, no worries. The show will be uploaded. You will hear the interviews in the archive, and you can then share it with your friends, and we're looking forward to that. You're going to absolutely love it, and we're looking forward to giving you that. So what I think we're going to do, as we have finished the first hour, I think we're going to give it just a few more minutes here to reach out in terms of us reaching out to BTR so that we can get this rectified. And we can expect, I think, that we will have the actual full show, the interviews, tomorrow available for our listening audience. And again, it's okay. These things happen for a reason. I like to say that maybe it was intended for this moment. I can only think of that. It must be for this moment here that I'm to have a conversation with you, and you're supposed to hear me right now. And we're going to continue tomorrow. You will be able to pull it up, like I said. But as I'm saying, this is not something that we have a choice. You can live or you can choose to die. But you have a choice of how you want your legacy to be. It's your choice. How do you want to be remembered? What point do you want to make while you're here? Some of you don't know, and I always share this wonderful way of being, and that is whatever your desire is, you put this out to the universe.
to the Creator, whatever your desire is, let it be strongly my desire. And so will my plans be established and succeed. And so it is. And God understands. God created all of us with a point. And we are to live that point. We are to be that. We are to, Queen represented that. And how do you know she represented that? Because of how she left here, the legacy that she left. In the conversations that I had with her friends at different times after her passing, they were all consistent of who she was. I even asked a couple of questions that were parallel, just so that I can bring that point out. She was real, and she had intention. Miss Aretha Franklin did not have it all so easy when she was growing up, but she pushed through, and she made it happen. And she was real, and she was true to her friends. She was loyal to her friends. She was consistent with her friends. She was a queen. Again, you're listening to the True Purpose Development Show, and I'm your host, Dr. Princess Adelia. And we're having technical difficulty tonight. BTR I am not sure what's happening, but the system is not allowing us to connect. And for that, we may have to, I'm just waiting now. We're kind of just waiting on getting a response from them so that we can continue with the pre-recorded show interviews and conversations that I had with, and we're just enjoying our celebration, our time, speaking about her, sharing the life of her, and sharing her life and life story. So I'm very glad that you have joined and you have tuned in to listen to the show tonight. Like I said, we do have a phenomenal lineup coming up very soon. This week we're going to be live with Mr. Matthew Knowles. He'll actually be live. It is not pre-recorded, and we're going to have a great time. I'm looking forward to that interview, and I'm looking forward. Of course, I'm going to ask him about Miss Aretha Franklin. I think I'm going to be talking about her for a while because I love her story. I love her story, and it brings even that much more meaning to her life, her legacy. Her legacy, amazing. Her father being a minister, but an activist, and one who was true to the cause for his community, for our community. His daughter being the one who was able to go right there at the inauguration and to sing to the first black president in office, which is an amazing thing. We also to hear Mike Powell talk about how she responded to that when she gained that knowledge that she would be doing that, because he actually worked on that piece for her. It was amazing. So we have some great things lined up, like we said, Mr. Ronnie McNear and also Mr. Michael J. Powell. Yes. So we're going to do this. I'm taking advantage of this opportunity, this show, this portion of the show, as I'm talking with you right now, would not be all on the show that will be uploaded for you all tomorrow. We will actually be able to continue on with our show, and we were kicked out of the switchboard. It stopped on us. So we do apologize for this inconvenience, and we definitely will be bringing you exactly. You'll be able to click the link and be able to share, download, and listen. It'll also be on YouTube. We are featured on iTunes, the True Purpose Development Show. So I want you to enjoy I want you to embrace the experiences that you have. And, I'm going to tell you this is something that I really find to be absolutely amazing in regards to Miss Aretha Franklin. She was able to be real. She chose to be. And her being real, being herself, brought her great success. That combination, being true to her, not being moved by other people's perception of her, but being Aretha and knowing that she is Aretha. Key to success. I look at that as such a phenomenal thing because I've been through so much on how, as just a little girl, and my religious background was different, I believe, then it was definitely different than the Baptist church. I was raised in a non-denominational Pentecostal setting. And one thing that we were not taught to be was real or really self-powered. That was not the way to be. Self-empowered in that terminology of I can do this, or I am this, or I am that I am. God forbid, don't say that. Don't say that I am, because that's not right. I did not realize how much that teaching, that type of teaching, the barrier it had on me, even in the days, even in times recent past that I thought I was free and I thought I was open, I thought I was ready and real. I had to realize I wasn't really that darn real yet. I was still coming out. I was coming out of a shell, a box. Like I said, even growing up, it's sad. I couldn't listen to Aretha Franklin. It was called a sin. Sad, right? I didn't appreciate it until I was grown. But then as I have had to come to the truth of my own self, choose to be real, choose to be I am that I am. It's not just, it's easier said than done. And I look at the life of Miss Aretha Franklin, and I admire her in so many different ways. She was strong. She was focused. That was her energy, and that was the reason for her success. She did not allow the paparazzi or media to dictate to her. And mind you, as I look at her as an inspiration, a phenomenal beacon of light to freedom, an example of that, I have to say to myself that I've come a long way, and I've got a ways to go. But my goal is to leave a legacy of transformation. And I'll tell you, anybody who is a pioneer if you're a pioneer in anything, you're going to go and you're going to have a lack of sacrifice as you go through. So you have to take the opportunities that you have to live your best life without caring about what people think about you or what they would say about you, or don't try to go into something that will make other people happy. You go to school because somebody else said that that's what you should go to school for. Or you sing the songs that you think that most people will appreciate, but you don't make your own songs. You try to live vicariously, or other people try to live vicariously through you oftentimes, meaning like your mom, dad, family. You find yourself trying to keep up with the Joneses for years. When what sense does that make? Be you. We are all beautifully, wonderfully made. We all have a story, and the story was purposefully given to us. We were created with the intention of everything that you're going through and doing. She lives her best life the way she wanted to live it. And I appreciate that. You're listening to Dr. Princess Adelia, and we have had some technical difficulties tonight, connecting, unfortunately. And as a result of that, we're definitely going to upload the full show. Clarence Waldron, wonderful, wonderful interview, the first half. And we're going to continue on as well, just moving forward. So I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. I want you to also stay tuned for this Thursday at 8 p.m. We're going to have Mr. Matthew Reynolds on, and we'll be talking about his new book and other things, as well as Cleo Miller will be coming up this month, as well as Angelo Ellerbe. Dionne Warwick, she has agreed to come back when she's off tour. She's got some new projects out as well. We're doing great things, and we also have a transformation tour that's coming up in October. Transformation Tour Detroit and Transformation Tour Georgia. October, it's coming up. It's going to be October 12th and 13th. The True Purpose team will be in Georgia. And from the 15th through the 20th, we will be in Detroit. And what do we do? The True Purpose team actually brings transformation. We ignite transformation wherever we go. And we have had the mission since 2012 is when we launched the youth development program, but we've had a mission since 2010 to ignite transformation wherever we go around the world, giving you the resources and tools needed for you to come into your life's true purpose, your true happiness, which is very important. That's the point of life, to be happy and live life to the full. That's what it's all about. So that's what we do when we go into high schools and universities around the world, wherever we are called to do. That's where we go. And the True Purpose team consists of individual community leaders, celebrities who have made it a point to help someone else come into their true happiness, which is their life's true purpose. And they are in doing that. So we go into the schools and we share stories, and we get the children empowered and inspired by vision. And it's such a wonderful thing, because in the schools they're chanting Transformation, it is so. Transformation, it is so. It's so cool. Holding your vision board. And we've been around the world. We've been to Africa. We've been to London. We've been to several parts in the United States, and we've seen results. It's been amazing. It's been amazing to see children. We have auditoriums full of students, of thousands, of hundreds. You know, it's wonderful. And they come and they're listening to very quickly as we share a brief aspect of our story. As they look at us as, oh, this person is this, and this. But then we come back and we tell them, hey, listen, one person of the True Purpose team member may say, hey, listen, I didn't graduate from high school, and I was told I was the dumbest crack-a-bull ever. Or another person may have a different story. Maybe that person don't even remember having a bed growing up. Or we have one young lady from the True Purpose team, Pauline Victoria. She has no arms and legs, and I'm telling you, this woman is so phenomenal. She's been married. She is married. Married, a child. She raised her stepdaughters, teenage daughters. She drives. She can be on the phone, and she'll tell you to hold on because she's got to send you an email. Nothing holds her back. She's so powerful that when you speak to her, honestly, you really do not, you can soon forget that she, in person, standing in front of her, you could just soon forget that she has no arms and legs because you're not even there. Why? Because that's her perspective of herself. Perspective is everything. I want you to check out one of Bountiful Group's clients' websites, Perspectives for Life, 4life.com. So I'm going to tell you, when you can take a look at your life and be willing to share the story, it changes lives. And that's what we do. And we coordinate vision board nights and vision planning nights with our students and also big community events. So if you are interested, please visit us online at bountifulgroup.com. That's bountifulgroup.com. We are also helping business owners and individuals start their businesses, how they need to start them, taking you from vision to fruition, all right? Vision to fruition, and giving you opportunities that you may not have otherwise been given. Why? Because it's our passion, our point is to help you come into the full fruition of your life's true purpose. And by you doing what you are called to do via that business, that idea, then you are affording the opportunity for so many other people to come into their true purpose. You're changing lives, and people are waiting on you. So we want to help you with that. We take you from vision to fruition, literally, and it's a beautiful thing. So I want you to check out our site at bountifulgroup.com and also bgconsulting.com. We had technical difficulties tonight. We are getting this handled, and this will not happen again. We don't expect it to. Well, we don't plan for this to happen again, or else we will have to change our service, our service provider, where we are right now. We're streaming through BPR, and we are completely shut out of our switchboard, unfortunately. But that's okay. We're going to upload the show and content in its full so that you will get everything that we have promised you. So we want to thank you so much I want to thank you for joining me tonight. I want you to, like I said, visit me online at bountifulgroup.com, on Facebook, and go to I Am Transforming Detroit. I Am Transforming the Youth. You can also go on Instagram, and you can also find us on Twitter. On Facebook, I am Dr. Princess Adelia, and it's Dr. Princess, one word, and then Adelia, Odilia, so that you can find me. And don't forget to check out the Credit and Business Development class. So if you're interested in taking a class, you can do that. Go online, go to bountifulgroup.com, roll on down to Credit and Business Development so you can find out what's going on. We have classes starting tomorrow, but our classes last for 5 weeks. It's a Credit and Business Development course. It lasts for 5 weeks for 2 hours online. You can go there and register right online, but it's reoccurring. That means it's every 5 weeks. So it's going to repeat another time before we start the winter semester next year. But after this 5 weeks, it will repeat and go on into the next week. So it's reoccurring. So you have the privilege of coming in when you want to come in. And we also are affording the opportunity for all of our listeners to get 1 day you can come in free so that you can hear, and that's starting tomorrow night for the fall semester. And it's 1 night, 2 hours, and you don't want to miss it. It can change your life, I'm telling you. I know, to the students. And just give us you can email us at admin, admin, at bountifulgroup.com. That's admin at bountifulgroup.com if you would like information. Listen, I love every last one of you. You are all dear to me, and we definitely appreciate your patience, and we look forward for you to listen in full to the show in the archives. You will be able to listen to the full show in the archives, and we appreciate you. Thank you so much for listening tonight. This wonderful celebration for Ms. Aretha Franklin.